Hello everybody, I am Anand Mule, the proprietor of Renuka Tools, which is a manufacturing company based in Aurangabad, Maharashtra, India. Well, a 22-year-old manufacturing company wherein we manufacture indexable cutting tools, all special indexable cutting tools. Now, we specialize in finish boring application, wherein one of our flagship product are these micro bore units. So, as you can see here, they are available in different sizes and there are about 75 plus variants that we manufacture these units in, which is the maximum that is available in the world. Now, this is a highly requested video that we are making only about these micro bore units. So what are we going to do in this video? We are going to talk about its uses, its applications, its benefits, its advantages. We are also going to talk about how can we adjust them in microns. The least count of these units is 1 micron radially. So we're going to show you that on a presetter. We are also going to tell you what precautions that need to be taken, as these are highly sensitive and mechanical units. So it is an assembly which is very delicate. So definitely we need to take some precautions while using it. I hope you enjoy this. Thank you. Okay, so now let us see in detail how to use these micro bore units. So basically, if you can see here closely, there is a scale on it. Now this scale, there is an internal scale as well as an outer, there is a vernier scale. Okay, so now this scale will give you the adjustment. If you rotate an entire division of the internal scale with respect to the outer scale, that will be a movement of 20 microns on diameter. Whereas if you use the vernier scale, which I will tell you how to use on the presetter, you can get a minimum scale reading of 2 microns on the diameter. Alright, we'll go to that later. Now first, as you can see, there are 3 mounting screws that need to be there. So here I have a boring bar with me. Now, all I need to do is place this unit like this, and then we provide very high quality branded mounting screws along with the micro bore unit. Please ensure that you use only these to mount these units, because these mounting screws also play a very important role. Now let us mount these units. As a precautionary measure, let me tell you that these mounting screws also have a life. So in case you unmount and again mount this unit more than 10 times, it's a sincere request, kindly change these mounting screws, because if the head is damaged, it is going to cost you big time to take this out. So in this way, the micro bore is now mounted on the boring bar. Now, along with the micro bore unit comes this spanner, which will help you make the adjustment. If you would notice, there is a plus and a minus sign marking on the micro bore. Plus means if you would rotate in the clockwise direction, the cartridge is going to come out. Minus means if you rotate in the anti-clockwise direction, the cartridge will go down. Let us do that. So I'm rotating in the clockwise direction. If you would notice, there is no need of tightening or loosening of any screws. Once it is clamped, you can only use the spanner for the adjustment and then leave it as it is, and you will get the desired results. So that is the beauty of this unit. There is no need of loosening or tightening of any screw or any spare. Now if you would watch closely here, this cartridge is coming out. Try to notice as I am moving in the clockwise direction, it is slowly coming out. If you would notice, the gap in this has now increased. Now, let me tell you, this is a mechanical unit, it is not a digital unit. So we need to be very careful as to how much of handling needs to be done. The more the handling, these fine threads will get damaged and ultimately the life of the MBU will be reduced. So I request you to do as little handling as required. Also, although that the unit, the cartridge comes out when you rotate in the clockwise direction, but there is a limit to it. There is no lock in the unit, but we need to manually check this limit with this thickness that is given on the spanner. This thickness will determine, if you use this somewhere here, this will determine as to can you move it out further, or you have crossed the limit of it. So currently, as of now, there is still some movement that can be done because this is not going inside. Once it goes inside fully, please understand that is the max limit of the cartridge of coming out, and you need to not exceed that limit. If the limit is exceeded, the cartridge will be wasted. Alright, now, okay, so now we're going to practically show you on the presetter how the adjustment on the microbo unit works. If you could watch this closely, there are these markings on the outer body and these markings on the inner body of the microbo unit. Let me try and show you with my presetter top camera. This is how it looks like, because it will be difficult to see otherwise in the video. Now if you notice here, there is this one line which is coinciding from the inner body as well as the outer body. What do you mean by making an entire division of movement? Suppose if we are going to move it clockwise, if we match this internal marking with this external marking by moving it clockwise, that is an entire division movement. This entire division movement is going to give you 20 microns on the diameter. Please mark my words, it will be 20 microns on the diameter. Now how do we achieve 2 microns? If you would notice now that this is the line which is already coinciding. Try to notice the line next to it and also the line next to the outer scale. There is a mismatch, right? This is the first line after the matching line. And now if we move clockwise and only match these 2 lines here, that is going to give you a 2 micron adjustment on the diameter. This is for clockwise movement, and the same applies for anti-clockwise. Suppose if you are moving anti-clockwise, this is the coinciding line, and now moving anti-clockwise, you have to match this line and this line here. That is going to give you a reading of 2 microns on the diameter. That is the first marking. Suppose you want to move 4 microns directly. What are you going to do? You will be matching the second line on the outer scale with the second line on the inner scale to each other. If you match this, that's going to give you 4 microns. If you match the third line, that's going to give you 6 microns, 8 microns, 10 microns, and so on and so forth. So that is the concept of the vernier scale that we have used in this microbo unit. Let me show you, because I will not be able to show you a zoomed view like this. That is why I'm depicting here. Now I'm going to practically do that with my own hands, and I'll try to show you the readings that we get on the presetter. Alright. Okay, so now we are going to practically see on the presetter that how do we make adjustments of the microbo unit and how do we use the scale to achieve entire division movement of 20 microns on diameter, or how do we say that we can make a 2 micron movement on the diameter. Now before that, let me explain you the concept of backlash. We have tried to cut down or have a very minimalistic backlash error by having a pre-tensioned assembly in the microbo unit. Number one. Number two, the second way to counter the effect of backlash is by moving only in one direction while we are making the setting. So either you only go in the clockwise direction with a steady hand, or you go in the anti-clockwise only, whether you want to increase the diameter or you want to take out the cartridge, you move it in the clockwise direction. You want to put it back, move in the anti-clockwise direction. Unless you do that, if you go in both directions, that if you exceed and then you go back and try to make that setting, you're not going to get a desired results. So have a steady hand, and that is how you can counter the backlash effect. Okay, so now let us see practically how to adjust the scale of the microbo unit. One entire division movement is going to give you 20 microns on the diameter, and there's a vernier scale, as I had discussed earlier also, that is going to give you 2 microns, 4 microns, 6 micron movement. Let us practically see for ourselves. So currently, let us take our first reading for reference. So the reading that we got is around 31.508. Now, currently if you will see here closely, this internal scale is matching with this external scale. Rest all and there is a mismatch. Now by making an entire division movement, what do I mean? I match the next internal scale with the same external reference. Let us try doing that. That's about it. So now this internal scale is matching with this external scale. This should give us a 20 micron movement of the diameter. Let's check that for ourselves. So we got 0.520. Alright. Earlier it was 508, now we got 520. So there is about 12 microns of movement. Now there is a possibility that earlier it was moved in the anti-clockwise direction. So as I had mentioned earlier, to counter the backlash, you keep moving in the same direction. Now, keeping this as a reference, we are going to take another reading where we make entire division movement and see now if we get 20 microns or not. So I am going to mark the next internal scale with the same reference external. Yes, that's it. Let us take the reading again. So we got 536. Earlier it was 520. Now we got 536. So we got about 16 microns. See, understand that because it depends on the naked eye, it depends on your hand movements. So you're going to get about plus minus 2-3 microns here and there, but as I said, it is designed in such a way that one division should give you about 20 microns of movement. So now that it is almost 20 microns, let me, if need be, let us take one more reading just to see if there is consistency in the movement or not. Yes. So we got 558. Let us compare. Earlier it was 536. We got 558. About 22 microns. So as I said, it's going to be plus minus 2-3 microns here and there. But on an average, you're going to get 20 microns movement per division. Now let us see how do we get a 2 micron division, 2 micron movement. If you will observe here closely, currently this internal scale is matching with this external scale. Now, what do you mean by 2 micron movement? In the next internal scale and in the next external scale, there is a small mismatch. If we remove this mismatch by rotating clockwise direction, it is going to be 2 micron movement. Similarly, if we remove the mismatch in the next 2 internal and external scales, it is going to be a 4 micron movement. Then it is going to be a 6 micron movement, an 8 micron movement, and a 10 micron movement, so on and so forth. So first, let us see a 2 micron movement when we match this external with this internal scale with this external scale. It's going to be a very, very small movement. With steady hands. Oh no, I think we matched it with the 4 micron scale. Yes. Instead of a 2 micron movement, I could not keep my hand steady. It is a 4 micron movement that has happened. Let us check here. What did we achieve? Five, 6, 2. So it was 558 and we have got 562. So that means there is exactly a 4 micron movement, as I said. So it all depends on what kind of control you have over your hands, and the results are going to be exactly as promised. Please understand, this is a mechanical unit, it is not a digital unit. So yes, there are bound to be some kind of errors in terms of your movement, in terms of your matching, what you decide that yes, now these lines are matching. So there will be some errors here and there, but this unit is a fantastic, most precise boring unit that Renuka Tools manufacture in Aurangabad, Maharashtra, India. So that was the demo of how do we achieve these precise micron level movements with the scale given on the microbore unit. Now this is for the positive movement. That means the cartridge is coming out because you're moving in the clockwise direction. Same logic applies if you, in terms you want to reduce the diameter. If you want to put the cartridge back inside, you move in the anti-clockwise direction. Now please understand that there are two concepts. One is, this is a ID boring bar. The same microbore can be applied to an OD turning kind of an application also. Now, because the clockwise movement will push the cartridge out, in terms of OD turning, it is going to push the cartridge out and it is going to reduce the OD turning diameter. Whereas in ID boring, because it is going to push the cartridge out, it is going to increase the diameter of the ID boring. So it is going to be a reverse logic in terms of OD turning, but clockwise will move the cartridge out. Always remember this so that you get a precise adjustment. Right? Thank you so much. This was a demonstration of how to use the micro bow unit that we manufacture here at Renuka Tools in Aurangabad, Maharashtra. Okay, so since I've already given you a demonstration now, let me tell you a few things that how to take precautions in using these micro bow units. Now, although I've highlighted a few while during this video, there's one very important precaution that needs to be taken care of. I'll show you an example. So I got this boring bar from one of our customers. Now, despite continuous usage or even of no usage, they kept this micro bow unit as it is in the boring bar. Now, because of the moisture, air, it got rusty, and now despite taking off the mounting screws, this micro bore unit is jammed in the boring bar itself. So if you don't take a proper precaution, once you're done with the usage of micro bore unit, I request you please take it off, unmount it, keep it separately in the box that we have provided, so that this kind of rusting and all that does not hamper the micro bore unit. If something like this happens, we have no other choice, but we will have to change or replace the micro bore unit. So this is one of the important things that please take care while using the micro bow unit. One more particular thing that we want to highlight is the warranty clause of this micro bow unit. See, there can be a manufacturing defect. We do not say no to that. But if in case we provide a micro bow unit and it works fine for the first 40 to 50 bows, we expect that there is no manufacturing defect with the product. If there is a manufacturing defect and deviation is observed in the first initial few bows, we will definitely give you a replacement. But if not, and then later on after 1 month, after 2 months, there is kind of a size variation, that can be because of n number of reasons. Particularly, for instance, that can be because of the rusting, that can be because of improper replacement of inserts, that can be because of improper parameters, that can be because of an accident. So for all of this, obviously Renuka Tools cannot take the guarantee to replace these kind of units. So I request the customers to please use with proper precautions, use these micro bow units, because it's a very delicate assembly with all the precautions that I have mentioned in this entire video. Number 2, what is the service clause? So yes, these micro bow units may or may not be serviced. If in case observed by a customer that they're jammed and they're not working fine, you can send it to us, but we cannot assure you whether they can be serviced 100% or not. If my team concludes that it cannot be serviced, we will have to replace that micro bow unit. You'll have to buy a new one. In case it can be serviced, we'll be more than happy to service it with whatever service charges that you need to bear. That's it. Okay, so there is one thing that I definitely wanted to highlight in this video, that a lot of customers, they buy micro bow units from us and they get boring bar manufactured from somebody else. Now that can be for whatever their reasons are, but let me tell you that a micro bow unit will only give the desired level of performance if the pocket of that boring bar is also precise in terms of the mounting screws, in terms of the clearance that is provided in the ID. It's also in terms of the clearance that is provided towards the depth of the unit, so towards the bottom face of the pocket. Plus there needs to be an air hole that has to be provided along with the boring bar, and all of this requires a lot of expertise. So it's a sincere request that if you're buying a micro bow unit from Renuka Tools, we also request you to buy the boring bar also from us. We manufacture this as well, and the reason behind it is we don't want the unit, lot of people, because they buy boring bar from somebody else and it is not up to the mark. Obviously, the MBU also does not perform up to the mark, and then they come to us saying that there are problems with the microbore unit. Please understand that the problems are not with the microbore unit, but the problems can be with the boring bar. So, I request you that to avail the warranty clause of the microbore unit from Renuka Tools, please ensure that you buy the boring bars also from Renuka Tools. Thank you. Right. So now let me tell you a few more things about these microbore units. Before we talk about them, let me tell you what differentiates us, that is Renuka Tools, with the competition. So primarily, we use the best-in-class technology in our state-of-the-art manufacturing center. We ensure best quality products adhering to global standards. We provide a QC report along with all the tools that we manufacture to certify the quality of the product and which is accepted worldwide. We ensure shortest lead times so that you don't have to face any delays in your projects. And all of this we ensure is provided to you at the best price possible. So this is something what differentiates us from competition. Now coming back to the microbore units, let me tell you a few facts and advantages of these microbore units over other cartridges that you might have used. First, this is a precision microbore finish boring unit with very high accuracy and repeatability. Number two, this is used for machining very close tolerances of about 8-10 microns. Number three, it facilitates a precision adjustment of 2 microns on the diameter, which I've just shown you in this video. Number four, these are self-clamping or self-locking units. So there is no tightening and loosening of any screws involved. So you just have to use the spanner and adjust, and that's about it. These are preloaded tension assemblies guaranteeing almost zero backlash. Adjustment of this tool can be done directly on the machine with the help of this scale. So you don't have to take it out on the presetter, adjust and then again use it. These are available with wide range of inserts and sizes. So that gives you a very high degree of flexibility. And again, these are directly replaceable with RL148C units or T-Max U fine boring units which are available in the market. So these are the facts and advantages of these microbore units which sets it apart from the class. Again, as I said that these are available in various options. Now what are these options? Number one, these are available for angular mounting as well as straight mounting. In angular mounting, it is available in left hand as well as right cutting hand. Number three, in both of these options of angular and straight mounting and in left hand and right hand options, there are a number of ISO insert options to choose from, so that you are not confined to any particular brand or any particular make of insert. So these are available in TC, CC, DC, TP and number of inserts. All in all put together, that gives you a wide variety of 78 microbore units to choose from. Number two, people ask me what is the minimum boring diameter possible by using these microbore units. Let me tell you, the smallest microbore unit that we have this microbore unit can be mounted on a boring bar which can give you a boring diameter of 20 mm onwards. Yes, you heard it right, 20 mm onwards. What are the applications of these microbore units? Well, there can be ID boring, it can be OD turning, it can be an undercut application for which we use DC inserts. There are special microbores that we have designed only for undercut application, be it in ID or be it in OD. Apart from that, you can use it for back boring as well. So these straight mounting micro bore units can be used for back boring applications. Now, let me share with you a very interesting micro bore unit. This is a special micro bore unit that we developed for one of our customers, which is for grooving application. Because they wanted to control the grooving depth in microns, and it was a very critical application. So these kind of customized micro bore units can also be manufactured by Renuka tools, and it can be supplied to you. So all in all, this is the entire bundle of micro bore units that we have to offer to you. I hope that I've tried to cover everything in this. In case not, feel free to send us emails on anandmule@renukatools.in. You can contact us website, which is www.renukatools.in. You can also feel free to call me at 9987 224487. So thank you so much. This has been an entire introduction, demonstration, precautionary measures, facts and advantages, and the applications where you can use Renuka tools micro bore units. Thank you so much.